Well, oh dear.
Hello DC audience and welcome back once again to another Spotlight session. This time it is our final episode, so it's been an incredible series where we've gone through and interviewed all of the DC players and answered the questions that you guys want to know. So my final guest for tonight, let's save the best to last, shall we? It's Mikey. Hello Mikey.
Hello, how are we?
I'm good, Mikey. Thank you very much for sitting down and answering the questions that the DC audience want to know. So my first question, let's kick it off with, why did you join Disconnected?
Well, how did I join DC? Well, after last FIFA, that's kind of that break period between the old and the new. And usually in that time, players go out and look for teams to join as an academy player, or would you'd say a professional? I don't know if you'd call it a professional player. And I came across DC because I knew Wit from last FIFA, and also knew Turtle as well. And they offered me a contract, which I won't go into depths about, but I also got offered contracts in other areas. Other teams, other big organisations, but I thought that DC was the right choice for me, considering I was a nobody. So yeah, that's how I really joined. I kept speaking to Wit and Turtle in DMs, and yeah.
You see how you stumbled across the organisation. So, Mikey, my second question then for you is, when did you first realise that, obviously, you talking about the fact that you've had previous teams possibly try to get you as well. So, in terms of, let's go back to your FIFA knowledge, when did you first realise you picked up a controller and thought, actually, I'm not just good at the game that I play, but also just as a pro level that you could get up to that next level?
In the FIFA 19, in all honesty. I was competing in mini tournaments, up to like £100, £150. I was winning quite a few of them. And I was also getting quite far in others. I didn't, unfortunately, I didn't actually qualify for the E-Prem, because Leeds United wasn't in the E-Prem last year, wasn't in the Premier League. So I decided to just keep playing these mini tournaments, get my name out there a little bit, and yeah, that's where I knew I was kind of good. So the end of 19 into 20 was kind of where I felt as if I could take a step further.
And I'm guessing that has come from where you kind of went into foot champs. Was that kind of the route that you had, maybe, that you started out with foot champs and then you realised actually you could be more of a pro player from that game mode?
Yeah, I used to obviously play foot champs in over weekends, and I used to get quite good results there. So I knew I was at some level, maybe not pro level, maybe just amateur, I'd say, in the industry. But I think when it came to tournaments, just the pressure and that being under the pressure of for money and getting your name out there is the main thing. Because as soon as you get your name out there, you can get yourself into bigger, better tournaments, and that's where you can show your ability.
And compete at that level as well, and you'd say that you almost would be an underdog at that level, but then you grow into being a fantastic FIFA player, and you are definitely one of them in this great organisation. So let's move on then. You've gained quite a lot of confidence, I find. I've only known you for a few months now, but in terms of you've gained confidence that if I said to Mikey 4 months ago, Twitch.tv, he would go, never. You've started streaming. What's it like starting streaming? Has that given you more confidence as a pro player?
Yes and no, in some sense. I think the people around you at the time, obviously I've got quite a few friends around me, like Jordan, who's obviously been on the channel before, HX Masters, if you didn't know. He streamed his weekend league games, or started to. So I got some confidence and some vibes off him. So I thought, you know what, I'll try it. And I already have like a following of different players. Like quite a lot of people know me now. So when I start streaming, I have a lot of confidence and support around me to start, recording my games. But I'd say the downside to it is obviously the nervous factor of you got your friends watching. It's a bit difficult at times, but you Always stepping stones.
Yeah, onwards and upwards, Mikey, definitely onwards and upwards. So in terms of, obviously you played FIFA before, but almost, have you played any other side of games that you were quite competitive at? I know that you're pretty good at COD, or is it just mainly that FIFA is your main kind of aspect for them being the pro player that you are?
I think I got my competitive side from when Call of Duty Ghosts was out. I used to compete on game battles and tournaments over there, and then I picked up FIFA because I was falling out of love with Call of Duty, and I think that's where I kind of, adapted into this bit of an animal. Just wanted to compete.
Or should we say the animal that I'm about to put in the video now? Yeah, that one. You know exactly which one as well.
Yeah.
But there you go. My final question then for the Spotlight session and for the series then is almost like you've joined Disconnected. What's it like? It was almost like not just friends, but almost a family of players without going a little bit too cringy on the side, that everyone kind of works with each other. They like to improve on each other and give feedback. What's it like joining an organisation rather than being like a solo pro player?
I mean, obviously, like you just said, you've got that kind of family factor. If one person's a little bit down or not having a good week, say, on game and off game, they're always there to support you. I think, obviously, as a lone wolf, you don't really seem to get much support because you can't really get yourself out of that mindset of what you did wrong. And I think with people around you, like certain players like Jordan or Wit around me, they actually, can point out things and talk to me in a way where I take on board what I'm doing wrong and make, small fixes to, improve my game.
Yeah, definitely. So, Mikey, that's come to the end of your Spotlight session. Thank you very much for sitting down with me. And as always, all leads are we.
Thank you very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mikey, and that was the end of the series of the Spotlight sessions. I hope you've enjoyed them, and make sure you can catch up with all the rest of the Spotlight sessions on this YouTube channel where you don't miss a dime. Also, let's talk about content that's coming your way towards 2021. Also, we're looking to try to get a podcast together with all the DC boys. This is not just talking about FIFA, but just talk about anything, whether it be supporting a football team or just how we get on with each other. That would be very much coming soon. So make sure to stay out for that one. We're having Pro-Player Tactics videos dropping to you. Our own HX Masters will be dropping a Pro-Player Tactics on his weekend league kind of setup and what he rots. So make sure to tune into that one. Remember, 29-1 last week for HX Masters. Very, very good. And obviously a verified player as well. Also, E-Premier League is coming up. So make sure to tune in to see what our players will take part in this year and what club there will be. We kind of really know which one Mikey's going to go with, but the others will keep quiet for now. But make sure to tune into all socials to find out what is going to happen. Make sure, as always, big up DC.